fan art theft. Now, there was a lot more to this particular question, but the vast majority of people really just focused on this part of the question. So let's take a look at what the actual question was, and let's talk about it as I move some stuff around. There it is, and there that is. Okay, hard pill to swallow. So this was actually posted by somebody else. Curious what your constructive I can't talk. What's your constructive slash artist slash creative versions of this? Hard truths for improvement or about our field of work? Okay, hard pill to swallow, or hard to swallow pills. Fan art is theft, and using it to gain followers and commissions is the lazy way. Especially when you're talented enough to create your own original works and characters. So what most people focused on, especially when you guys look through the comment section, is the first part. Fan art is theft. And if you look at the quote retweets, a lot of people are just focusing on just that particular sentence. They're not really talking about the rest of it. Which kind of makes sense. It really is. So let's just dive into that a little bit, shall we? I'm going to move my chat around a little bit. So the only time I personally think that this answer qualifies as a yes, all right, is this one thing and one thing only, and I would love your guys' input after I state it. If you don't get permission from the, what's the word? OC, original character, right? Or slash owner, to sell the fan art of the character, right? Yeah. Copyright holder. Thank you. We'll use copyright holder. That is the only time I personally will probably have a problem with that, right? And if you are going to do fan art of a VTuber, a content creator, stuff like that, I would see if they have something about fan art, or if they publicly state something about, you know, hey, it's totally okay for you to do fan art and sell the fan art. Now, some of you guys might focus in on the thing, right? Only if you are selling. This is my contention. If you are selling it for profit without permission, without giving cuts and so on and so forth, I have a problem with that. But if you are doing it just for practice, or for your own personal things, or to like share to the copyright holder, because you want them to use your fan art for whatever, or you just want to draw it, that's totally fine. Go nuts. Go ham. The reason why I think you need to get permission for VTubers specifically is for this reason, and mostly this reason. Why you should get permission from VTubers, especially the larger ones, the independent ones. The reason I state that is because the indies, for the most part, have some sort of contract with their original artist. Sometimes they call them papas or mamas, right? The creator of the avatar, for example. And they usually have to pay a cut of any and all merch to the artist. So that does happen, and literally I think that's not fair for other people to make profit off VTubers, then to make profit off the VTubers, and the VTubers can't even make that profit, right? But so this is my caveat for specifically VTubers. Okay, we're going to get into like the other fan art for other companies, right? Um, if you are doing fan art of some companies are okay with it, some aren't. I've seen a lot of people state that Pokemon states they are okay with fan art. Now, I didn't find anything official. At least I couldn't find it. If you guys could find it and link it to me, that would be super cool. But I never found anything official where they state, hey, you could do fan art of Pokemon. People do it anyway, right? There are so many people doing Pokemon fan art. I don't think, Nintendo or anybody that actually the copyright holders of Pokemon is going to do anything, because if they did do that, they would be shooting themselves in the foot, or yeah, in the foot. But I didn't see anything that gave express permission. And for the most part, a lot of companies don't give express permission. And the reason for them not giving express permission is mostly because if they see something that they don't like, they can take it down, right? So that's why I think sometimes they don't give out express permission, because something out there that they don't like, it's can be removed. Pokemon Company publishes a fan art license. You're allowed to make whatever Pokemon art you want, with the caveat that it belongs to the Pokemon Company and cannot be used for anything beyond personal. See, okay, so that's interesting. Thank you, Lewis, for posting that. I really appreciate that. So Pokemon owns the right. You can't use it for anything beyond personal, which probably means you can't sell stickers, artwork, so on and so forth. So, yeah. So that's good to know. So let's hop into the no real quick. Or actually, before we hop into the no, does anybody have any other reasons on why yes, fan art could be considered theft, other than me mentioning if you don't get permission from the copyright holder / owner to sell the fan art of the character? I'm mostly talking about VTubing in this particular point. Has it been really 10 minutes? Okay. I'm going to copy your question real quick, Lawnmower Girl. I didn't expect 10 minutes to go by that fast. It is a waste of time for them to go after every person. Absolutely. And not much, Sakura. Welcome to the stream. The Pokemon Company sues fan for copyright infringement. Has that happened? I'm curious. I'm going to look it up. Pokemon doing fan art. And hello, Thornscale. How you doing? Oh, they have. They actually have done this. Oh, wow. Okay. In 2015. Yeah. So I'll pull it up. Yeah, the Pokemon Company sues fan for copyright infringement, demands $4,000 in damages. So what did they do? Jones manages a small cafe in Seattle and was formerly a Pokemon fanatic. For the past 5 years, he held unofficial Pokemon PAX kickoff party at his cafe, a party that played host to a slew of Pokemon-themed giveaways, music, and Super Smash Bros. Tournaments. I cannot talk today. Oh my god. There was a $2 admission fee that went towards a DJ and giveaways. But the conflict between Jones and the Pokemon Company arose when he made posters for the event that primarily featured Pikachu and Snivy. Jones immediately canceled the party when he received the word of the lawsuit. The Pokemon Company was resolute in his goals. Washington judge has just ruled that Jones now owes the Pokemon Company $4,000 in damages. So it looks like he was sued. It looks like that he did have to pay damages. So that's why you probably like Pokemon states that you got to um like you could use it for personal use, you can't use it for commercial use, right? I think the vast majority of you artists are going to be fine even if you do a little bit of commercial use, right? I think personally you're going to be a-okay. I really do. um but there's probably like a lot of caveats and stuff in the background that we don't know about that happened in this particular one, but there is a case at least out there that we saw of it. I don't think anybody else stated a reason for yes. Do you guys generally agree with what I said here? Give me a 1 in chat if you kind of agree, 2 in chat if you don't agree. Um, he was passing it off as an official event. Yeah. Small events is what keeps Pokemon alive. I don't think small events keeps Pokemon alive. I think it's the game, their shows and stuff like that. And honestly, everybody's opinion, you're totally okay with like totally disagreeing with me. I'm okay with that. Seems pretty easy distinction. If you make money from the fan art, it's bad. If you're not making money from it, it's fine. Yeah, I think so. Maybe a 2? Okay, that's fine. Totally fine. Okay. So Strawberry mentioned fan art is free advertising. I'm not going to put this underneath the no, but I do want to discuss this a little bit. Yes, it is. Fan art is totally free advertising. It really is. And you would honestly be crazy to think it's not. The fact that like you guys do fan art of me, I go crazy for. I love it. Like sometimes I break down because I'm like, oh my god, like this is so amazing. Like people like me enough to do stuff, right? The only time that I think fan art is not good for the person is when it's art is done in a way that the copyright holder slash owner, because not everybody has copyrights to their avatars or whatever, um, is drawn in a way that is not to their liking or brand, could harm the brand, right? This particular one, I do strongly feel that it can be bad for particular people. Great example I'm going to use is Sapphire. Sapphire is very wholesome, very sophisticated, very PG. If somebody was starting to go out there and started drawing lewd fan art of Sapphire, that would not look good. That would be harmful to her brand. It would look really bad to on her brand, right? If somebody did lewd fan art of me, for one, I would appreciate it, like cool, thanks, but I wouldn't want it out there on the internet because my content, I try to cater to people from the ages of what's the legal age that you can stream on Twitch? I think 12 and all 12 and up, right? So I don't want the younger people in my audience to see the lewd stuff when they follow me on Twitter, right? I want that stuff away from them. They don't need to see that, right? So yes, fan art is great. It is absolutely free advertising. But if it can harm a brand, even like somebody that's not a VTuber, but like a corporation, a company, or so on and so forth, um, it could be harmful to them. What can you do if that happens? Truly, what you should do is reach out to the person. If you do see something that you don't like, and usually people are okay, and they're like, hey, okay, good job, blah, blah, blah. 2, you should honestly put out a fan art policy, right? if you make fan art that is not safe for work or blah 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 blah, I have, because I am the copyright holder of this avatar image, so on and so forth, I will issue like a strike to have it taken down type thing, right? You do have that right to do that to protect your image. So, and there is, and it also depends on what country you are, right? Some countries you can do this in, other countries you can't, right? Okay, now I want to flip this question a little bit, because this is like I was mentioning earlier, this is something I saw that a small VTuber agency updated in their fan art policy. So we can agree fan art is free advertising, right? For the most part, it is. And what did we say? Yeah, free advertising. Now, this is the question I'm having a problem with, or yeah, this is the question I'm having a problem with. Does an agency, let's say even corporation, have the right to use your fan art, okay, your own derivative work, for their own use without asking your permission? And I want you guys to just not think about it really quick. Just think about it and then answer. And while you're doing that, absolutely not. Really. I'm glad that I wasn't the only one thinking no, that's not good. If it's for their copyrighted character, the legalese is basically no. Well, okay, a corporation no, a talent yes, but what's the difference between an talent? So say, and because I'm saying agency talent mixes in with that. I honestly expected you guys to say yes, and I was gonna go into like the pushback on that. I was actually like going to like nudge back at you guys, um, but I guess I don't have to do that anymore. Not without permission. I also feel very strongly about not using fan art as indie creator too. Okay. Okay, so Desmond, how does it depend? I think they can, but what they need to do is credit the source. Absolutely, they should credit the source. It really comes down to like fair use, right? Fair use is a massive thing where you could like create your own derivative works and so on and so forth. You could make fan art of a person, of a character, um of, for example, myself, right? And be protected. So your art is protected. Like for example, I don't know if you guys know this or not. Um say I'm trying to think of an actor or an actress right now. Uh Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie is walking around in public. Okay? And this is in an actual case that did happen, not with Angelina Jolie, with somebody else. Okay? Um if somebody takes a picture of Angelina Jolie, who owns that picture? The person who took the picture, or the person that is, well, the one in the picture? What do you guys think it is? Would Angelina Jolie be the owner of that picture, or the person that took the photo? And US courts actually have ruled on this particular one. The person who took it, yes. Exactly. So the person who took the picture has full rights and owns the photo. They could do whatever they want. They could sell it to tabloids. They could do whatever they want. So yeah, the person that took the photo has full rights. And fan art, you're doing a digital representation of that person, right? You're drawing them in your own way. It's still kind of like a snapshot of that person, which again extends into that. But fan art actually has its own copyright laws, and you're actually protected as well. Definitely, clear fan art policy could end up like that hoaxer that ruined her own life trying to falsely accuse an artist recently. That was over. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Pictures are thrown into public domain. Yes. The reason I feel is negative. Number one, not every artist likes to be featured, and especially if they said art isn't a piece they like anymore, using a piece are uncomfortable and can cause a lot of issues. Fair enough. I used to think for big agencies they could use it once you handed it to them on your own volition, but I learned recently the talents do mainly ask. They do mainly ask, yes. Right? And talents, for the most part, what I've personally seen, love fan art because they use the fan art in stream schedules, backgrounds, so on and so forth. So VTubers, for the most part, love fan art, right? It's literally free stuff for them, right? So yes, exactly. So John just said it. In Japan, it'd be the opposite due to their law against damaging a person's image. Yes. So in Japan, it is actually the exact opposite. Spicy Pictures deleted the comment and they made the feeling disgusted that they draw her like that. Oh, I know what you guys are talking about. Okay. Yeah. So okay, let's talk about that. Let's quickly talk about that. So say you give permission 6 months ago to have art of your OC standing for original character, okay, to be made in whatever way the person who is drawing it, and I believe it was very naughty in nature, the way they want. The way they want. So if the image is made, right, let's use the caveat, if the image is already made, right, yeah, NSFW, and published, can someone revoke the permission to post? Technically, it would be fan art. I'm here. I was talking with my fiance. C plus, give me your opinion. I want everybody's opinion on this, right? They can revoke it, but not the way the VTuber did it. Okay. My belief is that you can always back out, but if you don't get to antagonize them. I agree. Yeah. Similar TOS on games. Okay. So the general consensus so far is yes, they can back out. The image can be deleted. Right? Yeah, let's not worry about what the VTuber did. Right? We can all agree that they went, out of line and so on and so forth. But because it was like basically a commission fan art, that they changed their mind on. Well, it wasn't even a commission fan art. Because it was just a creative fan art, can they now back out of it? That's what I'm curious about. Your guys' opinion, at least, on it. I think they can back out. They can ask for it to be deleted. Right? Can ask. But just like how we were talking up here, and where everybody agreed, if you're not using it for profit, I think it's probably okay for the person to leave it up if they really wanted to. Isn't okay in my opinion, because it's probably make the owner of the original content. Where Strawberry, so what we're talking about is if they gave permission. No, it's not under a contract. If the artist agrees, okay. Okay. So for sure, she's the owner of her art. So I think this one is where we're getting a little bit confused, right? Fan art was made of someone else, right? Look, just like we discussed earlier. Fan art was made of somebody else. Yeah, it is a gray area. Permission was given. Right? And you guys mentioned the person, and we all agreed with the Angelina Jolie question, and just like copyright laws, fair use, so on and so forth, right? And even when we talked about the agency has to ask the original artist permission to use the art and so on and so forth. So the artist is the owner of the image. Calvin and Hobbes creator. I got to look at Calvin and Hobbes because I'm not too sure what this is. Cannot revoke established work? Okay. I don't see anything about Calvin and Hobbes. So if somebody wants to link that to me in Discord, that'd be pretty dope if you could, please. The specific issue you guys are putting it up. She has the right to tell them to take it down. She does. She totally has the right to tell them to take it down. But the artist has the total right to keep it up as well. I've seen a lot of artists who charge extra to opt out on it. Well, this wasn't a commission. This was basically a public question. Hey, if you want to be drawn with me, blah, 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 give me your consent here, and it was all on Twitter. Yeah, it was a freebie. Yeah, exactly. Because remember, we did mention earlier in the conversation, and you all agree the artist is the owner and the copyright holder of their derivative work. And that's why I said fan art is free advertising. Yes, it is, but art done in a way that the copyright holder / owner is drawn in the way that's not to their liking or brand could harm their brand. That's why I said this particular statement right here. for this particular one right here. Because if you have, if you decide to change your mind, you probably should be able to at least do a little bit of that. You have the right to ask, but the artist, because of everything that happened, has the right to say no. He says at the time, but later on changes. He doesn't want to smile anymore. He can ask me to delete it. But it's up to me if I want to or not. Exactly, Sakura. Exactly. It's interesting to get your guys' perspective on this. It really is. Yeah. Hey, gotcha. Okay, so it seems like we're on the same page. For the most part. And again, chat, we don't always have to agree, disagree. I love that we all have our own opinions, right? As this is just a place for us to all have a conversation and discuss it. About zines? I don't know who zines is. But yeah, back to the original question of the stream. Is fan art theft? I think we can all agree that it is if you don't get permission from the copyright holder or owner and sell it. Someone could steal, but get greedy, shame, blah, 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 legal actions, yeah. Essentially, fan art booklets, okay, that can be sold. Interesting. Usually by indie artists. Ah, okay. Does anybody have an article that I can read about that? And then we could read on stream? Well, I agree to that. End of the day, it's up to the artist. I do not feel like taking down the art that makes the creator uncomfortable, even if they speak, especially specifically. Well, the thing is, Koi Cat, and I'm not too sure where you stood in the beginning or this particular, wherever it was, that area. But, like, we can't say that people are allowed to draw fan art of us and they own the rights to it, blah, 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 blah. And then change our mind down the road, or change our mind, or because really at the end of the day, fan art we don't really have a whole bunch of control over. And depending which country you live in, you may not have the right to do anything about it. Like here in Canada, there's nothing I can legally do for fan art. But in Japan, if this was happening in Japan, I could sue you. For example, I'm not going to sue you quite. But for example, if I was living in Japan, then I could go after you for that. But in Canada, I don't want to save anything for the States because the States I don't know. But yeah. Zins has been around forever. Okay. Let me look up Zins real quick. Zins. Fan art. If drawn fan art itself is not... Okay, wait. C plus, you made my brain just explode. I was talking to my fiance about this topic, and what I think is fan art is not theft, and drawing fan art itself is not fan art. Huh? What? Can you retype that one? My head is like hurting from that. No, it's okay. Jesus. Fan art could be compared to cosplay. Yes, it can. Because I remember this being a problem in the cosplay community as well, right? Where cosplayers were cosplaying characters. I can't remember if it was an anime or a video game, but a corporation tried to go after the cosplayer for the cosplay. And this was like back when cosplaying was like first starting to take off. Oh, you sent me an article? Perfect. Thank you. You're You're a gentleman. Okay, let me copy this. U.S. and all Japan collectively follow international copyright law. Usually takes the strictest country's rule. Interesting. Yeah, selling prints of cosplay has caused decent amount of controversy. Yeah, it has. Which is a shame, really, because I feel bad for those cosplayers. All right. Let me close my Discord and pull up the Firefox article. Okay. I was talking to my fiance about this topic, and what I think is fan art is not a thief, is not theft, and drawing fan art itself is not theft, but you can claim the fan art as your own and sell it. That's illegal. Okay. So basically what we all agreed to. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what is an art zine? Okay, an art zine is a self-published magazine that typically has specific focus on a certain medium or area of the art world. Zines? 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 I'm going to say zines. Are traditionally collections of drawings, written work, photos, and other artwork that are printed and distributed to people of the same interest. Interesting. Okay. Some zines, have developed a following of devoted fans and are polished as professional art magazines. The internet has brought the art zine, I don't know, into the digital realm, and any artist or art enthusiast can easily create a zine with the potential to reach millions of online readers. As opposed to most art books found in stores, art zines are self-published works. The creator may or may not be professional artists. That's good. And some zines have the open request for anyone to submit unique material. That's really cool. The idea behind these art zines is that everyone has something of value to contribute. Some popular art media covered in zines include photography, mixed media, sculpture, and design crafts. Art zines are also range from family-friendly to X-rated, and their material can be varied as different artists' ideas. Make available for distribution. So one thing I got a question for about this, because I'm not seeing it discussed, and all I'm seeing is ads. My God. Is for profit. You sell them? Yes. Okay. So is there a legal responsibility for the people that are making these zins or zines or however you say it? Um, is there an obligation for them to give the profits to the people that submitted to them? Some are for profit, some are... Oh, okay. So it depends on which one you go with. They donate the profits to charity. Oh, that's cool. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I could get behind that. But, but, if somebody was to make one of these, oh, magazine. Okay, so it's a oh, it's a zine. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I'm not very cultured. Zine. Okay, thank you. Finally, somebody corrected me. So, okay. So, let me ask this particular question then. Can someone else submit your work to a zine? They ask for authentication? Okay. 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 Unless you are the artist. Okay. Okay, you guys are educating me. Thank you. Like, I really appreciate this. I don't follow a lot of art. I watch Sword Art Online and like Attack on Titan and Overlord, and that is like the closest thing to art that I look at. That is literally the closest thing to art that I look at. Okay. So then, with everything we just covered, that we just discussed about zines and zins and fair use and theft and so on and so forth, I'm gonna put this question into chat. I'm gonna start a poll. Is art theft? In your guys' personal opinion, this is 100%